When I was in elementary school, I was put into a program by my mother that I'm very thankful for. It was a kind of a program to teach young children about their First Nations heritage. I got lots of cool things from that, actually. I got this board game called Topona that's kind of like the Monopoly version, like a First Nations version of Monopoly. And I forget the rules because I haven't played it in like 20 years, but I still have it to this day. It's really cool. And each card kind of teaches you a little bit about the culture of the First Nations people. I got this little drum made from my teacher. I know it's super bright. I don't know if you can see it, but it's actually a beaver. When we were on a road trip as a kid, we stopped at this river, and we were just kind of, playing around like kids do. Me, my brother, and my sister. And then we find the spot, and there's what we're not really sure what it is. It looks like just like a furry patch. So we go over to it, and it's just a beaver just hanging out right at the edge of the river. And because we're all dumb kids, we had no idea how dangerous those things can be. We go up and we're like, oh, we should try and pet it. So we sat there, and then we just pet it. And then we went back and we told my mom, and she was, no way. We're like, yeah, come see it. Brought my mom down, and then, my mom was just like shocked. Like, how could this thing just sit there and let us pet it, It didn't even know us, we're humans. And that's why he decided to make the drum of a beaver after hearing that story. He's like, that's your spirit animal. And it was always something that kind of stuck with me. And, as I go into adulthood more and more, and I've got to experience more and more interactions with people, and a lot of them aren't super sensitive. I'm not exactly sure what the culture is in other countries, but in Canada there is a large group of people that think a lot less of the First Nations people, that, we're drunk and we don't like to work. There's tons of inappropriate jokes about us and stuff like that. It always kind of hurt to hear those types of things, and I know that sometimes people just say them just because they're joking and they don't mean to hurt anybody, but it is hurtful, and sometimes, you can't really change that part of yourself, You can't change what you're born as, and I'm sure people of all different races can kind of feel the same way, that it's, sometimes you just feel so bad if someone just says just awful things to you, and you just want to change. You don't want to be that anymore. You want to be something else entirely. And now that I'm older, I'm still learning a lot. I'm only going to be 30 in like a month, but that's a whole other bag of worms. But now that I'm getting older, I'm learning to embrace it more and just kind of look into it more for myself. And I really regret feeling the way that I did about wanting to be something else and just not wanting to. I ignored it for a long time. I pushed it into the back because I just felt ashamed to be that. And a lot of people were just like, oh no, you look white to me. I don't really see anything underneath. Sometimes people think I'm Italian. Some people think I'm Portuguese. It's pretty crazy. But no, the older I get, the more I've learned to embrace it and kind of look into the culture more and whatnot. And I think that that's an important thing for a lot of young people to really think about. And it's not just skin color. It could be maybe you have a disability, or maybe you're overweight or underweight, or you have a goofy pair of glasses. It's just something that makes you feel different from the crowd that you're in. It's important to embrace things about yourself and be proud of accomplishments and stuff like that. Enjoy being you. You're the only you that you'll ever get. So it's important to just kind of maintain that. Growing up, my mom always worked with developmentally disabled people. Some people who couldn't talk, some people who just were lower functioning, who couldn't survive on their own, some people that had diseases that crippled them socially, that, they'd swear or, have erratic twitching and all that kind of stuff that wouldn't fit into society. So different was always the norm for me. I could always kind of understand people that had a little bit of speaking troubles because I was just used to my brain working a little bit extra hard to understand them. And learning things like one of my mom's longest clients that she's retired now, but she still goes back and visits him a lot, is a guy who's deaf, blind, and mute. He can't talk, he can't hear, he can't see. So understanding his world, how he perceives everything, and just being able to communicate with somebody who only has really like two senses, absolutely mind-blowing to me. I think it's helped me kind of be accepting of all different types of people, no matter how different you are. It doesn't matter skin color, it doesn't matter disability, it doesn't matter anything about you. Everyone has some sort of value to add. You know, here's a guy, like I mentioned, only has two senses, and he changed the way that I look at a whole group of people. It's absolutely crazy. So I just wanted to send that message out to you guys. I'm sure a lot of you have battled with adversity and stuff in that, maybe more so than I am. Maybe I just wanted to remind you that it doesn't matter if you're different, you have some sort of value, in case that was something you maybe needed to hear today. So keep on keeping on, my friends. Video at the usual time tonight, as always.